background's changed. Well, that's new. Maybe it changes for each case?
Probably.
Considering before it was like Edgeworth's room, I think. Cool. That's cool. Anyway, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. I'm gonna, well, head back onto the Go You plane. Edgeworth has been trying to tell everyone he is not a murderer, and now our guide from the last time has now been accused of murder. So let us see what will happen next. Oh, okay, we're at the airport. Oh no. Oh, it's fucking Sal. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Mille, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I think that's Franziska. I have been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. I was right. Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. What a shame. I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. And also a bitch. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? Ow! It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple at the House of Von Karma would become a criminal! Have you no shame?
Oh, that's ironic.
Well, I mean, Manfred von Karma wasn't a disciple, he was the head of the house, so it makes sense, actually, if a disciple would become a criminal. Because the head is.
Of course.
Wait! Oh, it has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder all over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe I killed the man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe!
Oh.
Getting back into the voice.
Yes, sir!
Too slow!
Ow! Crocky!
Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Ah! Yes, sir! Understood, sir! You just leave it to me, bro!
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth. Sir, boy, am I glad to see you're okay.
Thank you, detective.
I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this.
I have to admit I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Hello! I need to stand right in front of you! So how is the initial investigation going?
You just shipped the body up to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir.
That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at a quick response to a case.
I'll say she was a little too quick, sir.
Oh, how so?
I arrested her as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Miss Volcano was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. And they'd come in advance to await your flight's arrival.
That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly, and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this.
Miss Volcano just kind of popped up with the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident.
No details.
It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir.
Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine.
Anyway, that's about all the info I have, so we should find out more as we investigate.
Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to people involved in this case afresh. Which is interesting why in the previous taste, yes. Which is why it's weird in the previous case, Gumshoes are like, oh hey pal, let me just tell you about how to investigate when you literally were investigating 2 days ago. Anyway, hello child. What a view of the plane preparing for takeoff.
Want to ride a plane someday and go overseas?
Have you never been to another country before, Detective?
Nope, not yet, sir. Don't even have a passport. But I've been saving up for that eventual someday. A penny a day to be precise.
At that rate, he won't be making any trips until well after retirement. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes.
I'm all excited to see as many planes too. Just look at the size of these things.
Do you like planes too, mister? The balance between the main wings and the tail wings is really something, huh?
Ha! It seems that this child derives his pleasure from a different aspect.
But I've also got to think for the shape of the wings too.
Here, mister, you can sit next to me. So about the plane's wing.
Thank you, Detective, for leaving me out of this conversation. I'm gonna regret this. Looking from behind. I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Oh, nom! In Soviet Russia, world flag lunchboxes eat stew!
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm gonna get him some water.
Found it, lol! Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on! It's over 9,000 lols! For my next lead movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna roar so many balls.
Phew, good thing it was a false alarm, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie.
Completely ignoring me as usual.
Of course he's ignoring you! He's just had inside information that the Steel Samurai is going to have a movie! The fanboy in him is just going, I need to write this on the forums as soon as I can! Right, now to Mr. Panic Attack here. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair.
I'd be pretty scared too if I got caught in a murder investigation, sir.
Ooh, I did it! I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. This fest is proof of it. Alive. It's not my prized possession. How could you just take that from the plane?
It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. It's got nothing to do with the murder, at least.
Hello? Lunchland. Oh my god, Lunchland!
Oh my god.
Angel Star worked for them.
Yeah.
Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops.
Oh, I wasn't going to give their steak lunch a try. What should I go with?
I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. If you really want one that badly, Detective, why don't you go ahead and buy one?
Is that okay, sir? Thanks. Alright then, I'm really gonna get one. Here I go. Excuse me, miss, I'll take a Star Spangled Banner lunchbox, please.
I hope he's aware that's the most expensive one on the menu. Okay,
Idiot!
Well, we teleported immediately onto the plane. Hello, is that the captain? Hi. We'll have to have a close-up to see if he's as good-looking close-up as he is as a little chibi, semi-chibi guy.
Yep.
So you must be the captain.
Well, yes, I am. And who might you be?
I'm the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you when you do.
What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy.
I wouldn't bet money on our dear Captain to be much of a reputable person.
Sure you don't want to answer Captain's question, sir?
He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know of anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Bye, bitch.
Ah!
That's right. That's what you get for looking after my ass, you creep. Oh, I love you, Edgeworth. You are very...
Oh, no!
Gale Force Winds is here still. Right, how...
I'm sorry, what?
Because that's what happened in his breakdown. He keeps getting
Oh,
the wind
yeah.
blowing in his face. She is 19. Yeah, don't be a creep. She's barely an adult, really.
How old is Mr. Gale Force Winds? I really want to know.
62. Not bad. He's got a full head of blonde hair.
Mr. Gale Force Winds.
Oh,
Now see here!
oh God! Shut up, you asshole!
Ah! Sorry, I'm so sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you!
Mr. LeBlanc.
Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stopping me from going!
To stop.
To stop stopping me from going!
To be honest, you made it more broken English.
Time is money! I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend!
No, thank you. I jest. I don't know. There are a few copies of Skyrise here.
It's most special! Oh, looks like it's an English trivia quiz. Oh, I've got one. What starts with I and means boldly rude and disrespectful?
The answer is most definitely insolent.
Time's up! Sorry, sir. But the correct answer is insolvent.
Detective Gumshoe, don't tell me your English ability is at the same level as him.
Oh man, there's a really pretty lady in that plane over there. Ah, she's looking over here! Right, sir, wave at her with me, please.
I refuse to be your wingman on this. You're not even going to see the woman again.
I got a piano on this plane. Hey, do you think I could try it out, sir?
I think you would know better than to randomly touch things at a crime scene, Detective. Besides, I didn't know you knew how to play.
Of course I do. I'm practically profession.
Interesting. The things you learn about people on a daily basis.
I can get dough and ready to go out just right, sir.
Two notes does not a proficient pianist make, Detective. I thought I'd do all of this stuff beforehand.
Hey, the statue.
What about it, Detective? Did you notice something?
I saw this guy in a dream last night. The resemblance is uncanny, sir.
You saw him in your dreams.
Well, yeah, I saw him and then I arrested him. I want to show you just how vital I am in our partnership.
Being useful in your sleep is of no help to me in the real world, Detective.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have to see this chair. It says in honor of the Rocker Pals Day.
And what exactly is the big deal with these rocker pals?
They're a seriously sweet Swiss superstar rock band, sir. Makes you want to listen to one of their songs right now.
Sorry, I got lost in that forest of S's just now.
Do you want me to explain it to you again?
You know, Detective, I think I'll have to take a rain check on that, regrettably. Well, I suppose we've got to talk with these guys. Sir, you can't go in there! I'm Miles Edgeworth. I'm one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. I'm very sorry, sir. No one is allowed to enter without Miss Von Karma's express permission. But I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions to not let you through from Miss Von Karma. Oh, why would you do this to me, Franziska? Did you finish taking his statement yet?
Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I wanting my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay.
Art? What sort of art?
Mr. LeBlanc's an art dealer. He's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all things arts.
Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me?
Oh, it is a Borginian cloth.
As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose.
Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from far overseas for more.
Thank you very much. Then, this is the cargo you were talking about earlier.
No. My cargo this time is much many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done with investigating, pal. The slowness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant room too.
That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Mr. Nero.
What is it? Do you have some use for me? You seem not to understand. I have no time to waste. Let me put it another way.
Letos.
There, maybe another language can get through your head.
I understood you perfectly fine in English. Alright, don't think there's really anything else I can show him, but we can talk about that. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And then they have still not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier. Quicker than her!
Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Here we go. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. Nearly said that wrong. Oops. The likeliest suspect, Francisco. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic. Fast. Okay.
Hold it!
So tell me, Francisco, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more. Are you saying there is more I need to know?
Why weren't you with me, sir?
Sorry, Scruffy. My hand must have slipped. It would appear that Francisco doesn't have all the facts of this case yet.
Hold it!
What do you mean by scene? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for attendant at 5 a.m. And then from the time after that call until the body was found. Continuing the line as it stands in testimony.
Hold it!
Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal. We'll see about the conclusion of this. We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect.
But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. That's what crime is gonna believe that too, right? You mean you two are like something? Ow!
Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. I mean, my father's a fucking murderer. Francisco, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. The likeliest suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we required and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. Yes, I figured that I need to present either the suitcase or the bloody cloth. It's just the case of with which statement do I do it. Guess it's that, because of the suitcase. It would appear that you did not have all of the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all. Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point? As if there is proof of that.
There is that proof again. Ah, yes. Here!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here.
Where is it again? Just fucking here.
This mark here, wouldn't you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast! This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. And then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With nowhere out, you hastily put the suitcase back from where you had taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Impossible.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass. Like this.
Ow! You shattered my heart of glass!
So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Captain Ugo bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon.
So,
It'd be this one, really.
yeah.
Yep, I'll just...
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools to those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. Fuck. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder, when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did three things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. The killer proceeded to pick up the bank off of the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise.
I genuinely love
What?
how they went
Yeah.
in the little thing. Oh yes, I'm putting it in your pocket.
Pat, pat, pat. Everything was done so I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Acme Hicks. You there!
Yes.
I did the thing. So, that guy is me this time. Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir.
If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon should have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking.
No.
Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still in the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene. There is one more possibility. And that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Hold it. Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Francisca, the person you're talking about. Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak to her. Yes. Very well, permission granted. But I can only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Mr. Nero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move.
Okay. You! Hurry and solve your murder! If you do not, how am I supposed to have my cargo returned to me?
If you could please be patient just a little longer, Mr. LeBlanc.
Hurry and solve it! Like a strike of thunder!
It's as fast as lightning, and believe me, if I could, I would.
Doing?
Why is everything now examinable again?
Snoop, 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 snoop. Let us snoop.
One person has a very messy bed.
Uh,
So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Mr. Nero,
Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too?
can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did?
Alright. First of all, can you sleep?
It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. And I was certain that the well-kept one on top belongs to Mr. Nero.
This bum was a damn mess!
You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man! You dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy?
No!
There are some things in life best kept to yourself, Detective. Oh!
What?
Well, I thought we came in through this door. But that's the exit? What exactly is this panel for?
Ah, that's the emergency control panel for the elevator. We used it to stop the elevator on the first floor and to keep its doors open. Interesting. So these are the channel's lockers, huh? Let's hurry up and examine them, sir.
Why must men always be so rude?
There we go again.
Besides, who exactly gave you permission to search through the attendants' lockers? Wait, Detective! It would be uncouth of us to look into a woman's locker without her permission.
Yeah, I guess so. Plus, I feel it's murderous draft, and I can sense a whip not far behind.
It's one of those suitcases designed by Miss Tenero. You can tell it's hardly ever been used by the lack of a single scratch on it. What's all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
That's all lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, crowns, swords, and necklaces. It's like a treasure trove in here, sir.
The fact that these were left on the plane implies that they were carried onto it to begin with. Something tells me it's time for Go-Yu to send his metal detectors out for repairs. Miles Edgeworth, isn't there something that you should be doing right now? Of course, I should be asking Miss Tenero for her side of the story. That's right, and how does that have anything to do with what's over there? Nothing really. If you already knew that, then why don't you hurry up with the interrogation already? Well, that's everything anyway, so time to chat. How are you? Oh dear, she's very distraught. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that?
Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
What do you mean?
The captain, he only has ears for Cammy.
I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mealy.
Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges.
Really? You're able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness.
Miss Tenero, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly.
Yes, I was.
And why were you there?
Well,
Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve.
All I did was go check up on the shop, like I always do.
You're saying it was for work, then?
Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise.
After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct?
Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. May I ask you about your suitcase? If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero.
Oh, that suitcase.
Yes, about this suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it?
There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there?
Would you please tell me more about the suitcase?
Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that It was the last one there.
The last one there. But there were two there. So you're saying, Mr. Nero, that this suitcase in question was the last one?
Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves.
That's not exactly the impression I got.
The one in the shop is most definitely the last one.
Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one.
I didn't say anything about buying it!
Then say you'll buy it.
I'm sorry, I can't.
But why? I think I agree with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional.
Well, that is, how should I put this? It's hideous.
What?
Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining.
Remaining?
There were two suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it.
Two? But that's impossible. I was sure there was only one.
Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction.
When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only one suitcase left.
Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Mr. Nero, what is one of those suitcases doing here?
That's...
Thought you said there was only one left.
That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now.
She's used it for a long time? I think not. Mr. Nero, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't lie to me.
Excuse me?
I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Mr. Nero says? It's still got the tags on it.
Take that!
Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase?
Price tag.
Price toggy tig. Tag. It's your line, dear. What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was... you? Well, it wouldn't be him. And she wouldn't buy it.
No.
She thinks it's hideous. He has no reason to, and these two weren't even fucking here, so... she bought it. It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then, the reason you went to the shop and came back here was...
I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I'd finally accomplished something.
But the suitcases didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it? Or because it's, as you put it, hideous.
I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either.
They weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked.
Oh my god! Bitch, those things are expensive! buy one every single time you work a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well.
Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase.
This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m.
Truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight.
Mr. Nero, where are these other suitcases?
They should be down in the cargo hold.
Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think the killer used one of my suitcases too?
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body.
How could they? The suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be.
Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only other way is just through that door there.
And what about security?
That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Hold it. Yes, Francisco. Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karman name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth! You were proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Mealy. I asked her earlier and she had this to say. Francisco got information out of Miss Mealy. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Ronatinero. And only you. What? Is this true, Mr. Nero?
Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times.
Could you please show us that card right now?
Yes, hold on. It's gone. I don't believe it!
What's wrong?
Key card, it's gone.
Ha ha ha! Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through.
Oh, wait, it's not like that!
You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Edgeworth!
What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francisco, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However... Hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Oh! Less than an hour. Damn. That's surprising considering the first part took 2 fucking hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. Glad to hear that not all of it is, like, very, very long. So I guess we'll have a variety in episode length. Well, there we go. Another one done. Huzzah, huzzah. I hope I didn't miss anything.
But I suppose it would have just been extra fluff, like trying to talk to the captain or, camming on the upper bit. But, we have our fun. Yeah. Let's go to the end card. Thank you all for watching this latest addition to our growing collection of varying games and reviews, just videos in general. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Please leave a like and a comment in the comments section down below. We love hearing what you think. If you have any recommendations for either games to play or material to review, let us know in the comments and we'll do our best to get to them when we can.
If you like our content, subscribe to see more. Check out our playlists if you are looking for something new or worried you've missed an episode. Click on the recommended video appearing on the screen if you want to see more of us right now. You won't regret it, we swear. Subscribe to our Patreon to become one of our lovely beans today. However, if that is too expensive for you at this time, please consider a one-off donation on our Ko-fi. Help a poor tea-wench today.
And with that, Lime out.
Dragon out.
Bye!